So back again with another GameStop retro game unboxing, and if you recall, a while ago I did this for the first time. GameStop was having a retro game sale, and I bought some stuff just to see the kind of condition that it would be in, and if it had the case, the manuals, or any of that stuff. And so they were having another retro game sale, and so I did the same thing. I spent around $50 shipped. I don't remember the exact price. It'll be up on the screen. And so yeah, again, I don't know the condition of all the stuff I'm going to get, or if it includes any extras. It's just all guaranteed to be loose, loose discs, loose carts, at least, and the whatever it will be will work. But if you shake it around, it feels like there's some cases and stuff in there, so that's pretty good. So let's see what I got. Alright, so I went ahead and cut open the box since it's kind of hard to do one-handed, and I went inside and removed the little packing slip with my address on it for privacy. But let's get into the box. So first off, we have Army Men Soldiers Heroes for the Dreamcast. This is like the definitive version of the N64 version. I was playing the N64 version on an emulator on my soft-modded Wii with one of my friends. We were having a good time with it, but it just didn't run very well, and there were a lot of little issues with it. So I just figured, well, this was on sale, I'd just go ahead and grab it. And yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't have the case or the manual, but like I said, I'm expecting them to all come loose, and anything is a bonus. That's all. Star Wars Battlefront for the original Xbox. I've just kind of been getting into original Xbox collecting, and I don't even know I have this game on the PS2. I just really like the original Xbox a lot more, and I have component cables for it. And let's see, does this game? Yeah, this game will do 480p, so it'll look just a lot nicer than the PS2 version, and so that for me is worth the few extra dollars. Yeah, I can already feel there's no manual in here, otherwise I'd show it. But next up, Mega Man X4 for the original PlayStation, and I'll take all this out at the end, but it looks to have the manual and the case itself, and it all looks in pretty nice shape. So yeah, that's nice. Next up, Sonic 2 for the Sega Genesis. This might be surprising, but I actually do not own a Sega Genesis, but I do want to get one eventually, and I've played Sonic 2 on the Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection, or whatever it was called in the PS3, and I really like it. It's probably my favorite Sonic game ever made, aside from Sonic CD. That's a very unpopular opinion, but that's my favorite game. But this is really good. I like it even more than Sonic 3, which I know some people might seem strange, but just my opinion. I'll take all this out at the end, but it looks to be decent shape. The label seems kind of colors are a little bit off, but the reason I also got it was like less than $2. It was like $1.99, and I had a 16% off code from Cheap Ass Gamer. So I just decided, well, I'll just get a bunch of this stuff. It won't cost me any more to get it shipped than what I'm already paying, so just go ahead and add it on. And next up, we have Mario Power Tennis for the GameCube. Yep, unfortunately it's the bestseller version, but that's not a really big deal. Just glad to even have the case. It supports progressive scan, so that's nice, because I have component cables for my Wii. And once again, there's no manual in here, just a disc, but that's alright. Metroid Prime, and there is a manual in here, and this is overall pretty great shape. There's some little marks, progressive scan, but yeah, I've always kind of wanted to play Metroid Prime, but never really got around to actually buying a copy. So I love Super Metroid, and I played that on the 3DS, the classic SNES Classic Edition, but I actually don't own physical copies of any Metroid games, even though, like I said, I played Super, and I've also played the NES version on the 3DS. And looks like for our last game, we have Star Wars Shadows of the Empire for the Nintendo 64. Really like the Star Wars games in N64. What I played, Rogue Squadron and Battle for Naboo, are just, really just great classics, both of them. So, kind of excited to see what this game is. So I tested everything that I could test, everything but Sonic 2, and everything worked. So that's pretty good. But there are some things I want to mention. That first of all, if you recall my January GameStop unboxing, the pins on the Sonic Advance cartridge I bought appeared to have been cleaned for the Game Boy Advance, or just really clean to begin with. But these haven't been. I'm gonna need to clean those myself. Not a huge deal. They're not like corroded or really bad, and it worked like the first try I tried it. But still, I've just seen on the Game Boy Advance. These ones are, I think, a bit worse. It's kind of hard to tell, it's not really much of anything, but, over there on the middle pins, you can kind of see. Let's see, Mega Man X4, you can see, disc itself is pretty good. There's a hair. There's some light scratches. I can't tell if it's been resurfaced. I don't think it has. Usually they'll resurface discs, but I guess they figured this one didn't need to be, or maybe they just did and these were just some deeper scratches. But I don't know. I didn't have really any trouble getting a PlayStation to read it. It took a little bit longer, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. Also, this front piece is cracked in a few places. Manual is in great shape. So this back piece here, Sarge's Heroes. I should have taken it out of the sleeve to begin with. Was overall pretty clean. Again, I don't know if they resurfaced it, or it doesn't really look like this was resurfaced, unless they're like really deeper scratches. But you'll notice like there's some, get in focus, some areas here, like the top part of the label is kind of, worn away, or just little pieces missing. I don't think it has anything to do with reading the game, but just something to kind of keep in mind for condition. Alright, let's move on to Mario Power Tennis. Worked just fine. Oops. Gotta stop dropping these discs. It's really shiny. This is just definitely been resurfaced. It's really clean. It's like a mirror. The box art's in great shape. The box, I had to use rubbing alcohol to get all the residue of the sticker that was on here. So that wasn't cool. I don't know why they didn't make those stickers easier to peel off. But overall, this case is in good shape. Official Nintendo. I had a easier time getting the label off of this case, but first let's talk about the disc. Kind of like the Mario one. Looks like it's been resurfaced. In fact, I'm positive it has. You can see that. There's some residue from there. It's almost like it's stuck in there. Like, I hear they use wax. I don't know if that's correct, but you can't take that off. It won't rub off. It's like it's in the cracks of the disc, or scratches. So yeah, I know that this has been resurfaced, which is nice, because if I were to pay someone to do that, it would be like $3 or $4. So that's a pretty good value there. It also came with all the inserts, even this old ad for Metroid Fusion, which is another game I need to get sometime. Man, my allergies are terrible. My voice probably sounds a little bit off. The box art was in overall good shape. Just had some little bit of damage down on the bottom here, but nothing really out of the ordinary. Same thing with this. This all looks good. And finally, we're taken to Star Wars Battlefront for the Xbox. No manual with this one, just like with Mario Tennis. Again, I don't know if this has been resurfaced, because there's like a lot of scratches on it. Probably not, but in any case, pretty clean. It did have like something on it. I had to wipe it off with my shirt, like a little bit of dirt or something. It was kind of weird, so I don't think they cleaned it or resurfaced it before, but yeah. Box art, good shape. Didn't have much trouble removing the label from this. This is just your standard Xbox case, But yeah, for the stuff that I got and for the prices that I got it for, I'm pretty happy. I actually have one other thing coming. But for whatever reason, they shipped it on its own days after this order. Even though I ordered everything at the same time. It was Donkey Kong Jungle Beat for the GameCube. And so that was a few more dollars. It didn't cost me anything more in shipping or anything, but it's just coming here later. So yeah, I would totally recommend using GameStop's Retro Game Service. This is the second box that I've gotten, and for what you get, it's pretty clean. It usually comes with some cases and inserts, even though they don't have to give those to you. So I would totally recommend checking it out, especially when they have a retro video game sale like they do from time to time. And that's just my personal opinion. Nobody's paying me to say this or anything. I actually do think, for all their flaws, GameStop actually does this really well. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video, so thanks for watching.